Hello everyone. So in the last one I talked a little bit about collecting. I talked a bit about why I collect and some of the things that I think that are quite often overlooked when it comes to collecting. What the actual purpose of collecting should be, in my view. This one is going to be much more about my journey as a small-time seller. Now, I was like many other people. I didn't have a lot of money. I still don't have a lot of money. I sort of looked through my stuff, found my old binder, and I decided to look up the prices of what some of these cards were worth. And of course, you get initial graded versions, and I didn't know anything about grading. I didn't know anything about any of the subjects that a lot of people are very sort of dominated about when it comes to talking about this kind of thing. I didn't know about any of it. I didn't know about uh, really about how to ship cards properly and all of that. So I looked into it. I sold some cards. I sold some very expensive, very valuable, currently valuable Pokemon cards. I sold a Pikachu, which was what was it? I'm trying to think now. It's got Pikachu and Pichu. I'll show an image of it, um, like to the side of me, like here. Um, that surprisingly sold quite a lot. I was very surprised by that. I sold bundles of cards. Uh, those sold. I sold some Charizards. None of them base set. I'm not that fortunate to have a base set Charizard. I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh guy, I guess. And I just sort of sold some cards, and I learned a lot of lessons. One of them being about the fickleness of customers. 9 times out of 10, you will have a fantastic customer service experience, and your customer will be interested in your product. They'll say, "What's the price?" Or they'll check the price. They'll agree to buy it for eBay, and eBay will take its cut, and you go, "eBay, god damn you," as you do every time. It's the ritual, and you ship the card, and everything goes well. Uh, One time out of 99, there will be always some problem. Now, it doesn't have to be that the customer's ripping you off or that the card doesn't arrive or anything major like that. It can be the customer's address doesn't work, and therefore the shipping is going to nowhere. And eBay won't let you ship it until you resolve the problem, or it won't let you print a shipping label until they solve the problem. You said, "Look, you've got the wrong shipping address on there, and I know it because it's trying to ship to an island. An island nowhere near here. So that's either a holiday home or there's been a horrible technical error or something like that. Or there'll be some other problem when it comes to, say, they have a lot of delays when it comes to the shipping, and they say, right, I hope you sent my card, you better have sent my card, or sometimes they're more threatening than kind. You've got to deal with all of that. And thankfully I didn't deal with too much negativity, and thankfully Royal Mail was pretty good for me. That's a service that we have to use over here, that are every, used said about every better. And overall, like, yeah, the experience was great. On the flip side, however, intent is everything. And intending to do this as a job, no, that was never my intention. I didn't want to sell anything as a job. I didn't want to invest in shipping supplies like the top loaders and envelopes and sellotape, and try to find a local area that will actually print my stickers and stuff like that to stick on the parcels. And the stress that comes with, I hope that it arrives on time, and I hope that uh, it arrives in a condition that is matching what I've stated, despite the protection that I've put in it. In the beginning, I wrapped. I used to take the cards, and I used to wrap them in a bundle of energies, sleeved energies. I used to wrap it in tape, and that way, the card I knew would not get wrecked and would stay flat. And that was the initial solution before the top loaders. So learning all of that, and learning how the shipping system works, learning how eBay's systems work, learning how much you'll get fleeced by eBay trying to sell anything. Uh, yeah, all of that is a big kind of learning curve. I had to learn a lot from it very quickly. And I'm glad I did it. It gave me a perspective into buying and selling. And the perspective is kind of invaluable in a way, because when you are dealing with customer service from a large company, that's different. When you are a part of a large company, as I've been a part of a couple of large companies before, and I've been actually a customer service agent for a large company before, if it's different, it feels different. It feels like you got both a weight and a backing behind you. But I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy selling cards. And selling those cards is probably going to be my income for the month. So I hope to sell them relatively quickly and for a good price for both of us, both the customer and myself. And for a while, yeah, selling these cards was my only income. Now, it didn't make me rich. It didn't make me anywhere near rich. I think probably from my whole business, I made maybe £400-500 in 3 months or something, or 2-3 months. Uh, so not a lot of money, but it kind of got me outside more. It got me outside exercising more to get to my local post office. They are becoming increasingly more scarce, and unfortunately, it's a decent walk. They got me through a tough spot when my uni refused to help me in any way, shape, or form, despite the fact I said, "Hey, I've got I've got a baby coming. Could you maybe give me some money to actually support me?" And they said no. Fair enough. But they also wouldn't help me find a job. And they also wouldn't help me uh, get into any kind of position where I could potentially be comfortable. So it was tough, a tough lesson to learn at 30. That yeah, no, people don't give a shit. People really don't give a shit, and especially universities, especially colleges, all of those institutions really don't care about you, and in the end, you're on your own. Uh, didn't have many people who could help me with anything. I did get some help eventually, but I overall was stuck in a situation where selling these cards was my only option. And I sold some nice cards, and I sold them at really quite a high grade as well. And I kind of feel sad for selling some of them. Not because of any value, not because I wanted to get them graded. Again, I don't agree with grading as a system. That's a topic for another day. I just think that I still had some joy attached to these cards. I kind of told myself I didn't in a lot of times. I was like, oh, I don't really care about this card. But a Sylveon that is in really good condition, is a really nice card, is going to be appreciated. I like it. I like some of these cards. I would buy some of them back when everything kind of calms down a bit. And I really like collecting as a hobby, as I said in my previous video. It's something that brings me joy. So when it comes to selling cards, yeah, I feel some sadness, to tell you the truth, about some of the cards that I sold. But I also, at the time, was looking at the market and looking at what the TCG was doing and looking at my financial situation and going, well, this is... I've got to get in and sell my cards while people sort of see value in them. So I sold my cards ungraded, high quality, grade 9 or 10 probably, unplayed, sold them, and the rest is sort of history. Now, would I go on to sell more cards? Well, not Pokemon cards, not right now. I think the market is absolutely saturated with Pokemon cards right now, to tell you the truth. I would more than likely become a seller of lesser known TCGs. I would probably get into shard bugs. I would get into sorcery. I would get into maybe... I know this one isn't lesser known, but I would maybe get into Magic the Gathering if it wasn't so insanely priced. There is a couple of others that I'm interested in as well, but mostly MLP TCG when that comes out, when the Battle Pack actually touches our shores. And because right now there is no sign of it at all. MLP TCG is just sort of... it doesn't exist unless you want some of the vanity cards, as I would call them. It doesn't exist. Shardbugs also is one that I've reached out to the company personally and said, hey, could you maybe come to England? And they've said I had to reach out to my LGS and pass the information on to them that I'm interested. So far, no response. Sad times. So, yeah, there are a couple that I'm interested in. There's a couple that I'm quite happy to push and sell on eBay, sell the singles, especially sorcery. Sorcery right now is it's absolutely dry. There's so few singles, it's kind of unbelievable. And when you were looking at how much demand there is, it's completely crazy. People want this game. They want to play this game, but they don't want to pay for the booster box, which is kind of understandable. But also, when it comes to making a deck from scratch, I would argue booster packs are probably the best way to do it in sorcery. But also, okay, let's not get into sorcery, because I gotta be honest, there's a whole video that could be done about it. Uh, Somebody has already talked about it in the community. Uh, I'll just say there's a lot of cards per pack, or per set rather, um, and it's not possible to get them all. That's a problem, especially for something that was out of stock for literally 4 months. So yeah, there are lots of things that I would do to sell cards. Like there are lots of different cards that I would sell from different TCGs. Flesh and Blood is another one that I'm interested in selling. Um, like singles from. I don't play it. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks really good. Um, but for me, I have like a threshold of £2 per product that I'm selling. If it's not £2, then what's the point in sort of walking 45 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it is to the post office to ship the item? It doesn't become cost effective for me because you've got to do a lot of preparation, a lot of work to actually make it so that you are spending your time wisely and not operating at an absolute loss. But I digress. With sorcery, more than likely I would sell playsets. With the MLP TCG, same thing, playsets. With the vanity cards for the MLP TCG, I would just sell the individual cards. They're not playable, they are just pretty, and people like pretty things. I like pretty things. I would sell the excess that isn't for my collection, and that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. So yeah, like I think overall, I would continue to do this. I would continue to sell singles online and get better at it as a sort of side hustle, quote unquote. But more than anything, I would I would rather do this as something that brings me joy. The day that I stop enjoying it completely is the day that this stops. I stop collecting these cards and stop selling them, especially, and close up my eBay account and everything. Because there is no point in doing any of this if it doesn't bring you joy. Because at the end of the day, you've got one life. You have one time on this planet as yourself. Maybe there are times after, but you won't remember them. It's like a reset or something. Uh, you will be somebody else potentially if there is an afterlife or there is a rebirth or anything like that. Maybe you're born in 500 years' time where people are 3D printing Pokemon cards with a mind or something. I don't know. I don't know. I can't imagine the future that far. But the end of all of this is really, yeah, do it if you enjoy it and keep doing it if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, then there's no point. And I gotta be honest, there have been several days doing this mostly to survive, doing this mostly as a way of keeping myself going, where I've just been like, this as survival mode absolutely sucks. This is a way of coping with having zero income and having the stress of a master's that's wrapping up and a baby on the way and everything like that. Yeah, absolutely sucks. But it did help me. I'm now at the point with my Pokemon cards where there's really nothing of value. nothing worth above maybe £2, £3, something like that. So it's dried up in that sense. I probably have more Pokemon cards somewhere, but if I do, I guarantee they're not going to be in anywhere near good condition enough to sell. So, yeah, there's that. But overall, yeah, just it's something worth trying. I think I think Uncle Frank has actually said multiple times that yeah, it's something that is worth doing. Uncle Frank being Frank's Hobbies. I really like Frank's Hobbies. He is a person who I think is an absolute treasure trove of TCG knowledge and a very honest person. And a lot of the times, a lot of the other YouTubers are very hyperbolic. He's very grounded, I found. So, yeah. Check out Frank's Hobbies. Not that he needs the promotion from me. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Tell me below what your experience, if you are a seller of cards of any type or any kind of collectibles, tell me your experience below. That would be interesting. And be sure to like and subscribe and all of that stuff. Okay, bye.